having looked at Wofford for a couple of days, how has your opinion changed, or is it the same as it was when you saw them up? Is it a team that you want to play, or a team that you feel good about playing? How do you kind of feel about the game after studying them?
Well, they're an extremely talented team, very well disciplined, well coached. We have, our program has the utmost respect for Coach Ayers and Wofford and for what they've done and how he's built that place. The thing that they do that I think that you'll notice on both sides about, they don't beat themselves. They're very similar to us. It looks like we're playing each other in a lot of ways as far as scheme wise. They do a nice job on offense of running the football, and then defensively, their front seven is extremely good, probably comparable to North Dakota State's as far as how good they are in the box. So it looks like a pretty even matchup, and we're excited about playing it because I know our guys are excited about being in the second season. But it's going to be a good football game. I can see why they've won the games they have and are ranked, and all the success things they've had this year. You can see why they're really good.
How has your team had such success against teams who run the option?
Well, one, we do, so they see it in practice quite a bit. It's a little different from some other people, but it's something that it's not like they don't see it every day of spring ball all the way through. So they have to be at least have an understanding of it. But I think our defensive staff does an excellent job of understanding the scheme. It doesn't mean you can stop it, but you can definitely learn how to contain it. And then I think our guys, Corbin can tell you, when it's option week, they get pretty excited about it. And there's a different mentality when we're playing against that, and these guys embrace it. And and I don't know what our record is versus option teams, but I'm say it's pretty good since we've been here. And I think there's a couple things that goes into it. Us running it some, and then our defensive guys do a great job, and then these guys' mindset. It's going to be a physical game, and if we're not physical, it's going to show, and they're going to wear us out. But we've been able to be physical and take that attack to our opponents.
You guys have obviously had plenty of hurdles to overcome, I guess, on the road this year. You guys have played all over the place on the road. Does that obviously help you now going on the road in the playoffs?
Well, we have been in some loud environments, crazy environments. I think our team enjoys being on the road. I think they like being at a hotel. They like where we eat, all those different things. It's just something that I think most teams take for granted a little bit. That at home we don't say to hotel home games and certain things. Some people do. A lot of FCS programs do. We don't. And so when you get that, it's just a different feel. You feel like it is you versus everybody else. And you're trying to manufacture that at home sometimes, but on the road it is, And so I think our guys love that, enjoy being on the buses, and just being able to spend time together, because that's part of, I think, these trips and that makes going on the road great. As you are for us anyway. This was a shorter trip, but most of our trips have been pretty long. So you spend a lot of time with each other, and you get to know each other a little bit differently. You get to know the coaches when our hair's down a little bit, so to speak, and I enjoy being on the road because it's just you're 60 people or 70, whatever it is, and nobody's expecting you to go up there and get a victory. So I like having that underdog mindset, so to speak.
Corbin, as a guy who's a physical player from the back of the defense, the option is such a physical thing. It's not a spread where everybody's running around, everything's compact, and you get. Is that why you think y'all's defense plays that well? Because you like that physical nature of the game, the punch in the mouth and punch back type thing?
I think it is. We face a couple teams in our conference that are pass oriented, but I think just going against our offense, we like to run the ball. So when we see an option team that we have to play against, I just feel as if we lock in more and just say, hey, we like to hit and run around to the ball. So our nature is blue swarm, so we like to swarm to the ball. So it just fits in with our defensive scheme, and I feel like we get more locked into the week that we have. So especially this week, we're gonna be locked in. It's like no other week, and it's options. So we'll be ready to play.
Corbin, just your reaction on making all conference?
I was shocked. Earlier this morning, I was looking online and saw something say Big South is going to release their all-conference selections, and I said, oh, man, well, if I don't get it, how I'm going to react. If I do get it, how I'm going to react. And they told me I got it, and I was like, oh, man, I just wanted to call my dad. And I got a little teary-eyed a little bit. I had to walk away for a minute, but I'm just happy I did. And, that's all good. But we're facing national championship this year, and last year we fell off at the end in the quarterfinals. So I just want to, continue this season and continue playing, and all the accolades are good, but we're chasing more than in all conference and all conferences and whatnot. So I'm just happy, but I'm facing more than an all conference selection.
Of course, they always say, one game at a time, one game at a time. How hard is it to overlook the fact that the Citadel's sitting there waiting at home for you?
I mean, it's a little hard, but you have to take 1 week at a time. If you want to get to the next week, you have to prepare for this week. And Wofford's a good team. You can't overlook Wofford. I watched a little bit of film on them yesterday, and they're really good. They run the ball. They're gonna run it, and then they'll pop action, and then they'll play action past you. So we can't overlook this week. Wofford's a good team. We have to go up there with the right mindset, or else we'll be sitting at home next week. So all the focus is on this week.
Jamie, same to you. Obviously, the Citadel is what it is, and they're sitting there waiting, and they're there. How do you kind of not look at the fact that they're there next week, or do you use it as motivation to get to next week?
Well, our guys see the bracket, so I'm not going not be surprised by it. But obviously, Wofford wants a piece of them too, because Wofford got beat by them earlier. So I think there's two teams that, whether there's added motivation to win or not, that want to get to the next week. And so, but I've told our guys that the only way you can get the next week is if you take care of the first step you're on. And we talked a lot about that once you get into this tournament, that you have all these rankings, who's supposed to be better, who's not. It's just about surviving, trying to find a way to win. And so we've worked hard yesterday in our team meeting, just talking about what it takes for us this week to try to march on to the next one. Because as soon as you we used the example yesterday, as soon as you try to skip a step, you fall. And we can't skip this first step, and that's the major one. And so, and I know Wofford's not looking forward to skipping it either. So everybody knows we got to take care of business this week. So I hope we better have that mindset anyway.
Brent was kind of talking on Sunday that he didn't like the regionalization of the tournament and just the way that it's set up in the field. Just kind of your overall thoughts on that?
Well, I think I didn't see his comments, but I can understand he's probably thinking, hey, you wish you could see somebody else that maybe you don't see. But if you run the triple option, we'll run somebody that don't ever see it. He's seeing two teams that are going to see it, so he's not going to have an advantage, so to speak, unless he continues to go farther. So I understand that, but we know how the NCAA works. They're going to do whatever they can to make it feasible for everybody to travel and go watch games and all those things. So it is. You can complain about it. It's like last year. I mean, we were the South Carolina region. It's the same thing this year. And so either we got to stop coming to the tournament, or or there's no big teams in South Carolina. So it's just the way it is. But I'm actually excited about it because I know for us, we don't. Obviously, we've seen Citadel, but we've not played Wofford, and then I don't know when. I know we're 0-13 against them all time, and so it's somebody that you see in the paper or you recruit against. You get a chance to play them, and then obviously with the history the recent history we've had with down the road there, so it's a good thing for us because our fans are relatively close. They can see the game, and it's good for y'all. Good for y'all.
What about their? So much is talked about their offense, but their defense is allowing 68 yards rushing a game. You guys like to run the football. Is this a game where you realize that you do have good receive? You may have to throw more. I mean, I don't want you to give a game plan, but I mean, they're obviously good at stopping the run, and but you do have a little bit of success through the air, and Shane has progressed, and you have good receivers. Is that something you think you'll have to match up wise and take advantage of?
They are extremely good. They're top 10 in the country in defense, and the reason why they're holding people to that amount of rushing is because they're really good in the box. As I said, I think they're as good as probably North Dakota State as far as the box there. And so that will be a challenge for us. We probably going to have to try to throw it a little bit more, but that's not our mentality. And so we're going to find ways that we can rush the ball and see if we can create more, through the passing game, more opportunities to run. But for us to win the game, we're going to have to find a way to run the ball. And that's what our mentality is, and that's helped us get to this point. I'm not going to be stubborn by any means, but also you can't get away from what got you here. And just because somebody's pretty good at stopping it too. So we've been pretty good at stopping the run on defense. I'm sure Wofford's not sitting there thinking it's getting empty, throw the ball. So they're going to try to see if their strengths match our strengths, and we got to do the same thing.
Is this set up as a kind of a defensive, low scoring? I mean, if you were just handicapping the game,
I can't do that. It's against NCAA rules.
But do you see a low scoring? This game.
Both defenses are really good. Both defenses are really good, and so it's going to come down to. I think anytime you play against option teams, it's turnovers. Who gives them more possessions up. I mean, you can look at last week. they had 4 turnovers, we didn't. We won the game by 3 touchdowns. And so I think it's going to be very similar that whoever doesn't turn the ball over and doesn't make mistakes, because in games like this, your possessions are limited because of the way the ball's been running and it eats up the clock. You got to make them count, and so I think that's what it's going to come down to.
Is there less just jitters going in, first quarter jitters, after having done this last year?
You want to answer that?
I don't think there's really any jitters. I mean, we've been here before, so we know what we need to do. But I think for the younger guys who didn't play in the playoffs last year, I think they might have like, hey, well, we're in the playoffs. So let me not mess up. Let me do this. So, but I feel like how we prepare in these last couple of weeks are gonna, determine how we come out and play. We come out to practice today, and we're going through the motions. Then there may be some jitters in the first quarter that may lead over to just for the whole game. But I feel like if we come out to practice and just prepare, like this is the game, then we go into the game. I mean, it's just gonna be this is just like any other game. So I don't feel as if there'll be any jitters, but we just have to come out to practice and approach it as if it is a playoff game. So.
Does it give you confidence as a contender knowing that you took the number 1 overall seed to overtime?
I mean, that was way in the beginning of the year. I mean, I just feel we're a different team. Kyle was a quarterback then, so he unfortunately got hurt. But we're a new team now. We mostly have everybody on defense that starting. Most of our O-line and receivers are playing. So I feel like this is a new team. But I feel as if we're riding on a good high right now. The Gardner-Webb loss kind of woke us up a little bit, and we're recharged now, and we're just ready to go.
He was talking about kind of a new team, Jamie. What do you tell, I guess, Shane going into this one? Because I know you said he's sometimes whenever he gets down or a little bit, it can be a little bit of a tough coming back, but he's played well recently.
Mm-hmm.
Do you say anything to him before the game?
No, because I mean it's a big game. We talk about it all the time. Every game each week's a big game because it's the next one. And yeah, it's obviously if you win or lose, you're done. But truth be told, if we'd lost after Gardner-Webb, we were done. And so we've been really in the playoffs the last 2 weeks as far as our mentality. And so we're going to prepare him and everybody just like it is a big game, but it's no bigger than the other ones we've not played. Just obviously it's in the tournament, but. We've really lived on the last 2 weeks living in a playoff game, and he played pretty well the last 2 weeks, and so I think he's understanding that he doesn't have to be great. He just has to get us in the right. We got good playmakers around him, and once he's understood that, I think you've seen him from Liberty and moving forward. He's been really comfortable with what he's doing. So I'm not going to make it any bigger than it is. It's just it is what it is. So we'll be fine there. Our defense will be fine, and if we don't play well, it won't be because of him. It won't be because of him. If we don't play well, it's because Wofford's pretty good.
On Thanksgiving Day, what do you do? And part 2, what are you thankful for on this Thanksgiving?
Thanksgiving Day, what do we do? Well, we'll get up. We'll get up and we'll have a practice in the morning, and then we'll have a Thanksgiving lunch together with the team, and then we'll let them have some time off that night, player-wise, and then that way the coaches can spend some time with their family. And then what I'm thankful for is one, just being in this position again. It's not easy, and being with these guys and this team. It's been a roller coaster this year, and that's probably saying it lightly. It's been a roller coaster, but these guys have been a joy to be around. And so I'm thankful just to be their coach and go through the ups and downs with them and up with them. And then I'm thankful that. My family's with us. I got my family that got my little girls, my son, and just that they can be a part of this. Because growing up in high school, we were terrible in high school, and I got my senior year, I got to play on Thanksgiving, and I knew what that meant. If you're playing on Thanksgiving, something's good going on, and I never got to experience it. Now for these guys to be able to experience it 2 years in a row, and thankful for that.
No, I'm thankful for my family first and foremost. Without my mom and my dad, I wouldn't be here today. Come to every game, and my dad drove all the way to New York my freshman year, and they fly everywhere. So I'm thankful for my family. Thankful for my teammates. I came back. I graduated in May. I came back just to hang around the guys one more year, prolong my life of going to work and whatnot, just to come back and play one more year with these guys. So thankful for them accepting me to come back and play with them, and thankful for these coaches. Freshman year, and Coach Mills was here, and after he left, Coach Chadwell came in, and he changed the program around, and Some guys didn't want to stay around, and I'm thankful for that. He kept me around, and
He was one that didn't want to stay around.
I'm thankful for Coach Chadwell and Coach Staggs and Coach Rod and all the defensive coaches, all the offensive coaches for molding me into the man I am today. And without them, I wouldn't be here today. So thankful for them.
Your favorite meal, or I guess your favorite item to eat?
On Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
Turkey, ham, macaroni and cheese.
Just one.
Yeah.
Just one? I like dressing, cranberry.
Yeah.
Dressing and cranberry. Yeah, I like that. So that would be my go-to.
What about you, Coach?
My mother, unfortunately, I won't get it this year, but she makes this sweet potato casserole that when you taste it, it'll make you go blind. It's so sweet. And it's one of the things I look forward to more than anything. But missed it. Actually got it last year because I think they came down for Thanksgiving last year, but we'll miss it this year. But that's one that I need the recipe eventually.
Need your site this weekend, though.
Yeah, new need to see. That's for sure.